Hello and welcome to episode 84 of the DXMentor, an introduction to the Worldwide Award or WWA program. My guests are Carlo, Italy Kilo 1, Hotel Juliet Sierra, and Joe, W8GEX. If this is the first time you're joining us, welcome. We have a back catalog covering many aspects of DX in both podcast and YouTube format. Please check us out. If you like what you find, please subscribe, like, and share to always be notified about upcoming events. Another way to keep in touch and to see what we're up to is via the DX Mentor Facebook page. I will be posting about upcoming podcasts as well as other DX events, so please follow us. Before we get started, I wanted to share some comments I received from listeners regarding the DX Hints and Tips episode we did last week. Turns out this was one of the more popular episodes we've ever done. Kenneth Allen F4Y said, "Great one, Bill and Joe. Thanks. Great information." ON4 MGY underscore radio amateur said, "Great video. 240 DXCC in 1 year is easy. DXCC in 1 weekend during big contests is quite easy. Once you hit 270, it becomes hard to get an all-time new one in the log. You really need the expeditions from that point on. Those suggestions will really help." 7-3 from 004M. And thank you for that from Belgium. Quote, "Everyone should binge watch or listen to the DX Mentor today in the snow. Merry Christmas." And that was from W08USA. And finally, Ray Chase 4251 said, "Great presentation. I appreciate the suggestions." 7-3 Chuck, W0CRB. Well, thanks for those comments. If you have a comment or a question or a suggestion, please drop me a note at thedxmentor@gmail.com, and I'll review it and get it on the air. Our discussion today will be on the WWA contest, the Worldwide Award. There are two flavors of the WWA, the month-long January event and the weekend-long sprint that occurs in July. We will discuss both. The WWA grew out of the automation surrounding the WRTC events. All the logging is done in the cloud in real time. So, scores are tracked and reported in real time as a result. The minute the contest is over, you will know what you qualified for and how you did overall. You don't have to wait 3 or 4 months. You might consider this the next generation of contesting because it sure appears to be headed that way. Well, let's hear more from the guys. Well, hello and welcome to the latest edition of the DX Mentor, and I'm really excited. We've got a world-class DXer with us, a world-class contester, and someone who's got something really great to share with us that I hate to tell you I was ignorant of, and I can't believe that I have never operated in the WWA, but we'll find out what that's all about in a minute. But of course, as always, I've got Joe at W8GEX. It looks like he survived that -3-degree cold there. Joe, how you doing?
Yes, it's been very, very cold in Ohio. We got about 6 inches of snow out here on the ground, but it is 41 degrees. I'm not sure what that is centigrade, so it's very nice and sunny today. I got started in ham radio when I was a teenager, was in SWL for several years and came up through the ranks and finally got all my classes of examinations over with. Been a DXer, been on 62 D expeditions and just love that. But I finally had to retire from doing that. Just too old to do all that hard work on remote islands. So, Carlo, tell us how you got started in ham radio.
Hello to everybody. I'm Carlo from Italy, and call sign is Italy Kilo 1 HJS Hotel Japan Sugar. Well, I started just with when a friend of mine, I think 14 years old, brought 2 walkie-talkies, the walkie-talkies in at home, and we started to contact, people that were hearing on the radio, and there was a lot of propagation that time. I heard Teresa coming from Brazil, and I said, "Okay, I'm Napoleon, and I'm in Japan." That was my answer. So I couldn't believe it was somebody really in Japan and in Brazil answering me. But after 2 weeks, when I see the stamp on the envelope of the QSL, which I didn't absolutely know what it was. So I got hooked completely, and I started to see what can I do. Is there something I don't understand. How can I get towards the ocean? How can this be possible? So this was the curiosity that pushed me to the DX, immediately to DX. You know, it was Brazil. It wasn't my home or near, or I'm not a technician, so I wasn't a technician at 14 years old, of course. So that's how it started. And then I started to buy a power supply, a little better radio, and so on. So I saw that there were some CBs talking each other. I thought that could be a bigger, a highest level of contacting people around the world. So at 18 years old, I had my first license, and I had also an American license in 2014 when I went in Boston for the WRTC. So. But I'm not a technician. I reached the 3 levels. I did the extra class as well. It took me three or 4 hours actually, but so that means that I am really hooked and passionate about DXing and contesting, of course, both things. So my first experiences in DX at house in a building in downtown. So it was quite difficult to have all those countries. But I did the first achievement which I was looking for was to have the honor roll in less than 10 years, which was quite difficult at that time. There was no cluster, nothing. You had to listen to the radio, and I managed to do it, but it wasn't a record because a UK station did it 3 months before me. So I only 3 months in 10 years. But so that in 92 I had the honor roll, and that was one of the most important DX achievement that I was looking for. I had the occasion to go in 1990 in South Sudan, which was a country, a separate country, which is now again with Papa Alpha 3, Charlie X-ray Charlie, and you might remember DJ 9ZB and a lot of few other DXers. It was a very nice experience. We didn't exchange even a telephone call, just a few not emails but mail, real mail. And I wasn't sure in Nairobi if I could find the crew, because you never know, you're not sure what you're doing. So I collect all the money for the flights and went there. It was a war environment, so it was quite difficult from Nairobi to go to South Sudan, but it worked, and that was my the best experience I had in the expeditions. So I had another one in Somalia as well. Okay.
Yeah, when did you make the jump, or when did you decide, boy, I want to do this contesting? Because you've been involved in several of the WRTCs, I believe, right?
Yes, I've been contesting since the beginning, from the building where I was living, and then I started to go in some other crews, in some other teams that could, where I could learn a little bit. We made a little crew here. Italy Radio 1 Yankee was with a station with a friend of mine, Italy Kilo 1 Yankee Delta Bravo. He was very close to me. And then we started, the two of us, contesting little by little. You manage to find other people, to meet them, and it grows a little bit, little by little. So, but about WRTC, well, that was the biggest effort I ever done. So that's we decided, after I have participated in three others WRTCs. A lot of people ask why is it, there are a lot of DXs and contesters in Italy, and WRTC never happened in Italy. So why don't you organize something? Why don't you do something for that? And the problem was to put together peoples, because when you're contesting, you're one against the other, not one with the other,
right
together. Yeah. So it's not easy, and competition is very hard also between people. So if you tell them, well, why don't we do something together, well, they look you not exactly the way it should be. So exactly the opposite. So that was the challenge. But it happened. We did it. It was a 5 years effort, because we started in 2017, and it went up until the 2023, because we had the COVID in the middle, and flooding in the area which was chosen for that. So a lot of problems, but it happened. So it was a very, very nice experience. I met a lot of people, and I answered to that first question. Why don't Italians do something?
I read the book Contact Sport, which is about the WRTC. And it really makes you realize how much work goes into that by all the volunteers, all the sites, all the equipment, all the operators, and how interesting it must be for you to walk into a room and there's all these other guys you've heard of before, right? So
exactly.
what a great experience.
So were you one of the operators, Carlo, or were you a referee?
Well, I've been a competitor in 2010 in Russia, then 2014 in Boston. I did all the qualifications, so I was not a mate, but the competitor who qualified himself. And then I went as a referee in 2018 in Germany. And I was the president of WRTC organizing committee in Italy.
Wow.
So it came from me and a few friends that we met in late 2017. We called 20 major contesters in Italy, in central Italy, asking to them, are you okay if we organize a WRTC in Italy? Okay, everybody said okay, but not a lot of them participated. So it's all okay, and then only a few were available. That was enough to organize it, and we did it. So I will be a referee also in 2026 there in the UK. But so answering to your question is, I was all in more. I did all the steps which are to be done.
Yes.
So it appears from what I read and I understand, we had AC0W Bill on, and Bill was also a participant and a referee. It appears that the referee is almost more difficult than the participant, because if I remember, you're there the whole time and you're listening to both guys, right, to make sure everything is correct.
Of course, and that's not the most difficult thing to do. The most difficult thing to do is to stay still and not to operate, because you want to participate. You want to be on the keyboard. You can listen and you can't interact. So you have to stay awake for 24 hours and listen to both one ear on the right ear, you have the right operator on the left ear, you have the other operator. You just make sure that the QSOs that are passing are going exactly on the log that they are typing. So you have to control what's happening. You must see that they are talking in English, for example. They don't, in WRTC, the teams are not recognized. The operator are not recognized. So, and nobody knows who is behind that call sign.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make some action that can recognize you, you're out of the rules. So this is one of the most important things that the referee is there to do. But the most difficult thing is to stay still and not interact.
Wow.
So you would like to, to operate, to do something, and you can't even say, look, you are at this position. You have to hook up and stay there, and well, you can support them, you can support the team, and it happened. I had to learn from them a lot. I've learned really much from them. Okay,
that would be hard for me to do, sit there and not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could also see if they're having trouble copying somebody, AJD, and you're sitting there going, no, it's B. I heard it. It's B.
You can't.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are mistakes when they are tired at the end of the 24 hours, not at the beginning. It's difficult that have to happen. But sometimes I realize that I am wrong. So it's better if I stay still, because they are top class contestants. So if you're pretty sure that the call is wrong, you have to stay there. Don't say anything. I have a paper where I can write things that I can suggest. I can not suggest. I mean, I can report to the judging committee, if any. Otherwise, not. You can't say anything. That was a mistake. No problem. Let's go on.
Yeah.
And that's all.
I know.
Yes.
I've operated remotely, like during the Ohio QSO party. And
Okay.
late in the day, instead of using, KTV, I use my own call, and you catch yourself. And it's not because you want to violate the rules. It's just force of habit.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
wow. Wow.
Yeah. It's
Um,
difficult.
So we kind of went over those. So, but now all of a sudden you find yourself, you're an accomplished DXer and you're an accomplished contester. And all of a sudden we have this worldwide award project.
How did that happen?
Yeah. And what is it really? I mean,
Yeah, it comes from the idea that WRTC was not known. So there is a link between Whiskey Alpha, WWA, and WRTC. We started with WRTC, and my sensation was that people didn't know what WRTC was. Actually, not only in the US, I mean in the whole country. And so we wanted to make that. He's gone, I think.
Yeah, he has a doctor's appointment.
He has the doctor. Okay, sorry, I didn't say hello, but we did at the beginning.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
We want to let people know what WRTC was, but not on the show, not only on social media, not on some different media, on radio. So there was that was the object, and that's what we did. I had Max, Italy Whiskey 1 Fox radio uniform, and Lorenzo, Italy Uniform 1 November Sugar Alpha. They were in the team of WRTC, and I knew that they had the knowledge to know how to put up something that was an up-level award, not always, not the same always award that you can listen on the radio. We meant something different because we had the most important competitors of WRTC that could have been activators for this event. So We started in 2022, then 23 as WRTC, and we had a blast. Absolutely. I think that everybody have seen on their radio the WRTC call signs that were all around the world. So that was the best beginning we ever think of. So it happened, and it went very, very, very nice. I mean, in April, it was 6 months. That was an error. That was something that we didn't expect.
Oh,
I think it was an error. An error. But this is what we thought it could do. 6 months of award is too much. So when the WRTC finished, the team continued with Whiskey Alpha with worldwide award, and all the stuff, the servers and the program, the platform that was created, and the contacts with people remained with another name, not WRTC, but Whiskey Alpha, which is worldwide award. And we realized that we are giving to DXers or HF operators a new chance to work HF in another way, which is not a contesting, is not a DX, is something else, which can be nice, and we think it has been nice because the numbers says that, not only us. So that happened the first time in 2024 and this year as well, and we are waiting now for next January. WWA takes place in January for 1 month, and there is also 1 week in July for the sprint event. So these are the two events. They are almost the same, but they are only divided by time. Nothing else is different. It's always the same thing.
So you said the one in January, does that last the entire month?
Yes.
Okay. And go ahead.
It starts the 1st of January, it ends at the 31 of January.
Right. And the goal is to work as much DX as you can, or as much different DX, or
there are around 100 activators, what we call activators. Those are the stations that the chasers have to contact to earn points.
Oh.
So if you want to participate and get the award, the rule says that you need just a little amount of contacts that gives you points with these stations. But these stations are special event stations from all over the world. So I have to spend a few words on this. So the
Please.
Activators, what we call activators, are the special event stations from 40 countries, different countries. We had this year in 2025, 1,000 activators, which is a big number. So you will find activator stations all over the HF bands, work included. So it's not a contest, it's just an award. If you want to have your plaque or your, the PDF and QSLs for the contacts. And there are some DXs as well in there, in the activators, because there are Mauritius, there is Indonesia, West Malaysia, India, from all over the world. And Hotel India, Tango India. Well, Tango India this year, I think they are not answering to the call, but there's Iraq is inside, Romania this year, North Macedonia. There are some DXs as well, but that's not the main thing. What you want to do is to collect all these stations in your log. This
Okay.
is the main thing as a hunter. So if you're looking for them, you are a hunter. There are the rules on, let me say it correct, hamaward.cloud, which is ham like our ham word, hamaward.cloud. And there you can find all informations about the past editions, the next editions, and the Sprint July edition that will be held just for 1 week in July.
So, and I've been to that website. I'll put a link in the show notes, but on that website, do I find out who the activators are?
Yes,
Okay.
it's written as teams.
Okay.
So hammerword.cloud/WWA/teams. Well, you will find all the teams that will be active from January the 1st.
Gotcha.
And their call signs. It's very difficult to keep the counts of all the contacts that you made, but they are registered in a log, which is available on every QRZ.com page of each of these activators call sign. So, for example, 3 Bravo 8 Whiskey Alpha, which is in Mauritius, he has a special QRZ.com page. On that page, your QSOs are listed already. And so you know what you have already worked and what you are missing for him. For example, you have worked him on 20 meters, you're missing him on 15, it's written. There is also a Copilot application which you can buy. It's for $39, I suppose, something, or euros, and that gives you immediate announcement that the stations that you are looking for are active on that band which you are missing and that mode which you are missing. That makes it very easy. So you just activate the pilot, and he will continuously give you all the stations that you are missing, suggesting you where to go and what station you have to work.
Wow.
That makes it very, very easy. Where you can find the Copilot, well, it's written on the, well, let me see. I was on well, it's on the website. On the website, if you register, you have to register, of course. You have more information that makes it much easier. If you would have had a spreadsheet, which is difficult to keep updated,
Right.
with your with your QSOs. So what else can I tell you?
So the
yes.
first step is that you have to register, right? So
yes.
if I want to work, WWA, I need to register, which is fine.
I think you can do it without registering, but it's better because that way you will have the possibility to choose whether to have a co-pilot or not, and see what other teams. Well, you can see them also without registration, actually. And we have a lot of donors, a lot of single donors that found this thing very nice, and they paid for it. We have some sponsors. ICOM, for example, not little sponsor. ICOM is a big one. Hembai is an important shop in Spain. Wemo in Germany, and Momobeam is an Italian producer of antennas. And we had a partnership also with Q5 with Kevin Thomas, W1DED. So what we can say also is, well, this year there are also the records which we uploaded just a few days ago. All the records about the rates and the modes. But this is perhaps a little bit too far from what you were asking at the beginning. You have to, of course, register, and you might have a cluster, but you don't need it, because if you go on the QRZ page of one of these, you will have all the informations needed to contact them very, very easily.
Okay.
That's why we have also always huge pileups on the activator's call sign. You know, Randy, you might know him, K50 Delta. He's coming from, of course, from contesting, and when he came along with this award, he said that best pileup he received best pileup during the worldwide award, that more than in the contest.
Wow.
So it's nice for both, for activators and hunters. Hunters are enjoying looking for people around. So they have an object. You know, if you listen now, the HF, there are a lot of people, but it's the activity makes it very, very active.
Yes, yes. So as I'm looking at the teams, probably 2/3 of them, the call signs end in WWA. So that will help a ton.
Yes, this is not every country may have that possibility,
right?
That chance. So, for example, you can see Bosnia is Echo 7 whiskey. We gave a whiskey. The Chinese couldn't get that call sign, but they are listed here. Whiskey Alpha is when you see a whiskey Alpha station, you know it is for this award, of course.
And this does include the WARC bands, which is good, 30, 17, and 12. Where over here, you know, most of the CQ and the ARL contests don't include those bands, so that's good.
Of course. Yes, it's not including 160 because it's too difficult for people to have an antenna for 160, and that makes it difficult for the ranking. So if you want to go in the ranking, you need to have 160. Perhaps you are not you are in the city, in downtown city, you can't have an antenna for 160, and it excludes a lot of people if you include the 160.
Okay. And then you get 10 points for CW, half that many points for sideband.
Yes, let's go on the rules. Yes, it started bands, so it's 80, 40, 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meters. So modes are CW, SSB, FT8, FT4, RTTY, and PSK. So all modes, the most important modes, not all, but the most important, the most practiced mode. So you need 100 points is required to get the basic award. Okay, and how do you get them? So 10 points for CW. Sorry, 10 points for CW, because we want to enhance the CW participation. We want CW to keep on as it is. 5 points, which is an SSB QSO, and 2 for digit QSOs. I mean, for FT8, FT4, RTTY, or PSK. So with 50, let me say, only digit, 50 QSO, you can get the award of 100 points. You can make your calculation there. So it's quite easy, but you'll get hooked. Yeah. So nobody remains there. You will have a ranking, and which is displayed on the QRZ.com and also on our website. And you will see that your neighbor is a little bit higher than you, and you want to not only collect the stations, but you want, why can't I go further and beat him, you know? And there is a country list as well. I would say that in the US, it could have been nice to have also the zones, the area, the area of the, which might be something that we can do, because we want to enhance the participation of the US. So at the end, there are these awards, and also the activators have their competition between them. So that makes it fun, because they are always active, and they need the hunters to get their points as well.
Right.
So there's both, on both sides there are giving points, and that makes the formula as winner formula, because all those numbers that you have seen in the first page, 3.7 million QSOs is a number that nobody would have even imagined that could have been real. That means that 150,000 people of hunters have worked us, and you know, it's a responsibility also, because you know that you are it's not only a joke, it's something real, and something that people are enjoying, and they are enjoying the HF, of course. But with this formula, every day you can this is the most important thing that I would say. It's different by all other awards that you will find around. You can't work the same station in 2 days. In Whiskey Alpha, you can work every day the station, the special event station, not twice a day, only once a day, but every day you can work them. So every day the activators have the pileup, and every day you can work the same station that you have worked yesterday. That it will give you points. So this, of course, the most important thing is to work them all, but you need points. So anyway, if there are other activators around the HF bands, you can go there and work them.
So so just to be clear, I could work you every day on CW for the entire month of January, and I would have 150 points just working you every day. Okay, that's
exactly.
Now, I'll tell you what's interesting, because I do this a lot on CQ Worldwide. I will say, Carlo, can you QSY to 80? And you can't do that here.
No, you can't do this, because otherwise we would have, because the activators are there to give points to everybody, not only to you.
Right.
Exactly. So it's not a contest for a lot of reasons, and this is one.
Yeah. So that's great. That's great. So when I think of sprint, I think of, I work you on this frequency, and then I can call CQ, and after that one I have to move somewhere else. Now, when you call it a sprint, is it just you're calling it more of a sprint because it's a week long, or are there special rules with the sprint?
We call it only because it's a week long. No, okay. I understand what you're saying, because I know how the sprints contests are as well, but that's not the reason. The reason is that is not one month; it's just 1 week.
Okay.
So it's called sprint that way.
Yeah, when I hear sprint, I get
yeah,
because it's a real challenge.
I didn't imagine. I didn't think of it.
Yeah, no, that's all right. And you've got some neat T-shirts and stuff, so that's really cool.
Yes, you can go on the shop. You can see also we had an agreement with some producers, and it's okay. We are having a lot of buyers as well. People are enjoying, and in the meetings, I'm not sure whether we will be able to go in Dayton this year, but in Friedrichshafen in Germany, which is one of the most important meeting for DXs and contesters, we would like to see people with these shirts. Only few of us had this one on, but I'm sure that we sell a lot of them, and people are very proud to wear that in the meeting point. So I'm sure it will happen. Yes. Perhaps there are some other things that I can.
Yeah, I will put a link on where people can log in or create an account, and I'll try to get them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting. I'm glad that I came across this in Bernie's email because I kind of never heard of it, which I like to think I know what's going on. But and once I went through, the thing that jumped out at me, Carlo, was, man, when you go to the very first page of the website and it tells you how many QSOs and all, it's like, oh my gosh,
Terrific.
and yet I did go through my log. I've worked a lot of WWA stations. I just didn't realize, that it meant anything.
Yeah, and they are high level activators because they come from contesting. So it's not just an occasional one, which can happen, and it's nothing. But if you stay there for 1 month and you want to cover all the bands and you want to cover all the modes, you need to be. You will find, if you get an Italy 1 whiskey Alpha and you miss somebody in FT8, I'm sure that in very short time you will find it. It's numbers are very impressive.
Wow. So how do you, the last question I have is, once the contest is over, so now it's February 1st, do I submit a log or?
No, because the
Okay.
log is already inside the platform. What the hunters can't see is the platform. The hunters, they log in the platform. It is a real-time platform which we used during the WRTC. It comes from that experience.
Okay.
So it's a professional one. Everybody all the activators must have internet. So they are all their QSOs are going to be real-time logged in this log. So we have all the QSOs, and there's no need to send the log. All the QSLs are in PDF and will be available on the QRZ.com page. And if you are registered, I don't know if it is easier to have it or something else, but everybody, there's no need to register to have the QSLs, and it's up to the activators to post to the LOTV, TW, all their logs. So they will open a log for their call sign, but it's up to them. We don't do that because, of course, they have their credentials, right, for LOTW.
This is really like next generation contesting, isn't it?
Yes, we experimented in contesting, and you can think of a contest where every participant is in real time connected, and you can see his QSO running one by one, which happened during the WRTC. You can imagine the first hour with 65 stations around there. How many QSOs were there? It was really nice. And we also had the chance to see if there was something wrong for the judges. So if there were some cheerleaders that were, just contacting one station for their country, and we had a good result also for that, and that makes a big step for the judges of competition. So it's not only it was born with that intention, but now it was stupid to throw away all the work that was done till now. So
Wow.
and we are enjoying it.
Yeah.
For example, my personal engagement is now to find all these teams around the world and keep them in contact with me, and they are sending me all the call sign of their operators. I want to make sure they know the rules, and in every country, in every language, sometimes there are problems with the computer, and I have to learn the Kazakh computer or the Chinese computer and get in and make sure it's working. It's very nice.
Wow.
It's very nice, and I keep contact with a lot of people, which I meet really in the meetings as well. So on my side, is very exciting.
Well, that's really great. So do you have a presentation? So in other words, I'm the president of the Southwestern Club, but I'm also a member of the Twin City DX Association, and we're always looking for presentations. The problem is, the time change, like our meetings are typically, say, 6 o'clock in the evening, which is 11 or midnight where you're at. So doing it live isn't always the best,
It's
but
difficult. There could be a presentation, an official presentation. Well, we had a presentation made from some activators, which coordinate the coordinator of their country, because in English, for most of people, it's I mean, from the Asian one, for example, there is no Japan inside. This is something we are missing completely, um, and a lot of people don't. If we make a presentation in English, it's difficult for all the others to understand.
sure.
So we suggested to the coordinators to make their own. We don't have one. We made a lot of presentations around the meetings that we did. So there are some PDF in where we had the ceremony where we have prized all people in Iber Radio, for example. 2 years ago, and this year we were there and we made a presentation, and there must be somewhere the presentation. It could be a good suggestion by you to put it on the website and have it available, so that is easier for somebody to spend for a quarter of an hour and see what WWA is. It's a good so right now I don't have one. There are some of our coordinators, and we might be publishing them on the website. It's a good idea.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if you had an article that described it, I know several, we're always looking for content, so we'd be happy to publish that. And maybe that's something I can give you all a hand with. We'll see.
There might be. We had some articles. Well, in Italy, we did it on Radio Rivista, which is a review, the most important review here in ARI, in our most important association here in Italy, and we did one for perhaps NCJ. I was asked, but I don't know if I have it. Okay, we will take a look about these things, both video and PDF or an article that could do.
Did you say there was one in NCJ?
I think I was asked to, but I'm not sure whether I did it or not. But that was for WTC, so it's something different. We have to update, and the problem is that perhaps next year there are new things, and they are not included in the presentation. Yeah. So for the moment, I think that the main pages can give a good idea, but it's a good idea also to have also the presentations on the website. I accept this.
Okay. So the last thing is what, I mean, the website is really well done. So whoever did that did a really excellent job. What are the different categories that a person can enter in and compete with?
Well, you mean the
Like,
hunters? Well, there are
yeah, the
mixed
hunters, yeah.
SSB, CW, and DG. So if you are working all modes, you can go in the mix mode, and if you just make, for example, an SSB contact, 100 SSB contact, and one CW contact, you will go in the mixed mode. So don't do it if you want to keep your log as SSB, for example. That means the same for CW and DG. So the important thing is that you have only those modes in your log, in the log. Otherwise, if you say, well, that's a nice station, but it's not in your mode that you are applying with to, and you put it in the log, you will be immediately passed in a mixed mode, which is the biggest one. But there's people that is only working SSB and or only working CW or only
Right.
digits. So these are the categories.
Yeah, so
Very
I know.
simple, and there are also some levels now that we have introduced this year. We don't know how it goes. When you get 500 points, that's five awards, I would say, 5 times 100. You will get the bronze, then the silver for 2,000 points, and 4,000 points a gold. Well, if you will look when it starts, there's people making 8,000 QSOs for the whole month. That's an engagement, fantastic. So they wake up in the morning and they keep all the day working WWA station. So the question at the end is, what do we do tomorrow at the 1st of February? This was the most important question that we had, not only from the activators, but from the hunters as well, the chasers. Well, hunters or chasers, the same thing.
Okay. I think it's really neat that the activators are able to compete against each other as well, which gives them, because sometimes maybe it's a new activator and they might look and say, oh yeah, for the month of January I'll get on all the time, and all of a sudden it's like, boy, this is a lot, right? So now their activity, but if they can get awarded and they can compete against another person they know, then that adds a lot of incentive to keep them on the air. So well done. That was really a great thought.
But that came from them, not from us. They saw that I did more than them, than the other team. So we'll say, okay, we will prize you. We will give you a prize because you did better than that. And so things are coming little by little. Also these numbers, bronze, silver, and gold, we are giving a little bit of visibility for the donors in the log, so they will be listed there. So things are coming up that's it.
So when it's all over, so now it's February 1st, how soon is it then that I find out that I finished third in a category? It's whatever's on the website is what's on the website, right? That's
it's
great.
just, it will, the 31 we will freeze, it will stop, the log is closed, and that will be the situation.
Okay.
There might be somebody which couldn't give us the log, all the call signs. There are a few blind people that are in the activators that are giving us day by day the log, because they can't log real time, but we want to include them anyway. So little things, but you can freeze the log at the 31 of January, and will be the situation for all the rankings, either activators or hunters.
That's great. It's a little frustrating when we have these large international contests and then you have to wait 4 months. It's kind of like
now it's changing. Now it's
Yeah.
changing because I saw that it's getting really better. Less than 1 week, you have the roll scores, and then the results are coming in 1 or 2 months, or 3, perhaps. I don't know. They are making a really nice job. All the contest managers.
So let's say we have a listener who says, I'd like to do this, but for the whole month of January, I'm going to be traveling. But then they decide halfway through the month, hey, I don't have any more travel. I want to start activating. They still have to register. And I would guess they have until the end of January 31st to register. They can't register after the fact.
Yes, of
Okay.
course. And if somebody wants to become an activator, there's a contact at the contact link where you can ask to be an activator. Of course, if your country is already registered, you will have a coordinator where to address yourself. But I will shift that request to the activator, to the coordinator.
Right.
So no problem. And there is also an activity which goes ahead along the whole year. I mean, if your club wants to make an award, and because there's a reason for that, we can provide the platform for you. So you don't have to think of the QSLs. You don't have to think of the log and everything. It's difficult to put up an award if you don't have a support.
Yeah.
And we are supporting more or less 30 awards around the year. This is what we did last year, using this platform, which is very powerful.
So I'm going to make a note next December. I think it's too short for us now. Next December, I could see both of the DX clubs I'm in, becoming activators and competing against each other.
Yes,
right.
yes.
So
you're in zone 8, aren't you?
No, I'm in 4.
You're in 4. Okay. Sorry. Okay. There's somebody in 4 as well. Well, you see, it's not all the areas are covered for states. I know it's difficult, but talking and this podcast can help a lot.
Yes.
I think to have more people. But we have Juan, Alpha Charlie 6 November Whiskey. I say he's taking care of and November 4 Whiskey stations. He's the coordinator for that number. We have 6, 8, and 9, 0. A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them.
Wow, very, very cool. I'm so glad that we got together. This is really, really cool.
Yes, it's a good occasion for us to talk about this, and not only you can see people talking in their face, and it's it's easier. And each year by year we are improving. This time we have 99 teams. You saw we begin this podcast with 96 teams. Now they are 99.
Oh,
because yes, I've added 2 while we were talking. So people are asking for to participate. They are starting to learn what this is and want to participate. Northern Macedonia is the coordinator is coming from the hospital. He came out. He has the arms blessed, but he can type, and he's doing his own job to find the team and activate this call sign. So people are doing things that we couldn't even imagine.
That's great. Well, I appreciate your
Okay.
time, and
Thank you, Bill.
we will get this out, and I'll keep you on copied on links and everything else. And boy, I'm sure I'm going to work you at least once in January. So
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, this occasion, this chance, and I'm sure it will improve our participation to all of this big what we consider a big event.
okay,
That's
well,
it.
I certainly am going to go ahead and order a T-shirt. I can tell you that,
Okay.
and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, Carlo. Have a great
Ciao.
holiday
Ciao. Thank you,
season, and I'll
Bill.
see you in January.
Okay. See you soon. Very, very
Yes,
short.
yes. Thank you, sir.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. I hope you will consider spending a bit of time in the January event or the July event. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the DX Mentor. I would like to thank our sponsors, ICOM America, the Daily DX, DX Engineering, and the Southwest Ohio DX Association. You won't find anyone more committed to DX than those sponsors. I would also like to thank my guests today, Carlo, Italy Kilo 1, Juliet Hotel Sierra, and Joe, W8GEX. I would love to have your feedback, answer your questions, and provide help with any DX or amateur radio issues that you may have. If you need clarification on something or you just have a question, email me at thedxmentor@gmail.com. Please drop me a line if you've achieved an all-time new one, received recognition, or have a DX event you would like us to mention. We would be happy to do that. If you're enjoying these DX Mentor episodes, hit the subscribe button, please. If you want to follow us to get updates on future YouTube and podcast episodes, as well as DX events and DXpeditions, join the DX Mentor Facebook group. 7-3 for this episode, and thanks to my ex-whale Karen for her love and support. I hope to see you in the pile-ups.